Alright, this is going to be my review of the Leatherman Wave multi-tool. Just picked this up the other day at Home Depot. Paid about $69, not including tax. And that's about the going price. You could probably get it a little bit cheaper online, like at Amazon.com. But I have a really short attention span, and I'm impatient. And I like to get things right away, and I don't like to wait for shipping. You know, instant gratification. But so I didn't mind paying a little bit extra money for it. I probably could have saved $10, maybe even $15 online, but I don't care. I got it now, and that's what makes me happy. So anyway, I was doing some research online for a multi-tool, and when you start doing research on multi-tools, I mean, there's just a gazillion choices to choose from. But it kind of narrows down to a certain few. Leatherman obviously rises to the top as being one of the best. They've been around a long time and have a great reputation, and their products are very high quality, very well made, and they're American made in Portland, Oregon. So that's always a good thing. And then there's obviously Gerber, SOG, Swiss Tool, Victorinox, and a whole bunch of other ones that are really good quality. But this is the one that really rose to the top. And when I read all the features and watched all the videos, this multi-tool screamed out to me that this is the one that I need to get. Even though there are more expensive ones out there that have more exotic materials like titanium and carbon fiber and all that good stuff. In my opinion, just because you're paying more money for more exotic materials doesn't always mean that you're getting more bang for your buck. There's that rule of diminishing returns. So, do I need titanium? No, I don't. Stainless steel is fine with me. Do I need carbon fiber? Well, actually, there's no synthetic materials on this knife, so obviously I don't need carbon fiber. But some knives and multi-tools do have carbon fiber and all that good stuff. But anyway, I don't need all that fancy stuff. I just need a tool that works and does everything that I need it to do. So let's go ahead and get into the review, and I'll tell you a little bit about this. There are tons of videos on YouTube already that talk about this multi-tool. So this is just going to be a rehashing of probably things you've seen before, but a little bit of my own personal opinions on this thing. Alright, so it is a multi-tool, and it's a full-size multi-tool. As you can see, it fits in the palm of my hand, about 4 inches. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and measure it. And it is indeed 4 inches, and it's just shy of 1.5 inches wide, and the thickness is about 3/4 of an inch. The weight of this thing, let's take a look here on my scale, 8.6 ounces. They advertise 8.5, so it's really close to what they advertise. I wanted a full-size multi-tool. I know there's a lot of good keychain multi-tools and pocket multi-tools that have a pocket clip that you can keep in your pocket for everyday carry. But I wanted something more substantial, a little bit bigger, something I can throw in my backpack or my bug-out bag or my man bag, my expedition man bag or whatnot. But I wanted something that was a little bit bigger, more durable, stronger, and substantial. And the Leatherman Wave really hit all the buttons when it came to that role. If I wanted to go with something that's more of a everyday carry with a pocket clip, I'd probably go with a Leatherman Charge. And I really do like the Charge TTI with the titanium scales or titanium handles. Like I said, you don't really need that, but I just like it. It looks cool. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the blades that are on here. The claim to fame to the Wave series is the fact that they have locking blades on the outside of the body. You do not have to open it up to get to the blades. And the first one here opens up like a Spyderco. It has like a little hole there. And the blade on that is awesome. That is just nice. I love that design. It's a flat grind with a kind of a drop point, I guess you call that. And very sharp out of the box. 420 high carbon steel, which is more than enough to get the job done of basic utility work like cutting and whittling small bushcraft type stuff. You know, this is not a defensive knife. But I guess you could use it in a defensive role if you had to fight off a bobcat or mountain lion or a dog or something, because it does have a liner lock. You could thrust and stab with this thing without fear of it folding over on your fingers. But like I said, it's not a defensive tool. This is predominantly a utility knife. Very nice. I'm glad that this actually has a full plain edge on there instead of a combination serrated, half plain edge. I don't like the combination blades. They're too small to really be of any use to me. If I want a serrated edge to cut a rope or something, I want a full blade with a full serrated edge. And that's the beauty of this tool, is that on the other side it does have a sheep's foot style full serrated blade. That is awesome. And it's extremely sharp. Very nice. And the fact that it has that sheep's foot style means that you can use this as an emergency tool or a rescue tool. So if you need to cut a seatbelt out from underneath somebody, you don't have to worry about cutting them. That's pretty nice. I was an EMT and a firefighter in my former life, so I really appreciate that part of the tool. Again, liner lock. And then it also has a wood saw. And if you know anything about Leatherman, they make outstanding saws for their knives and their multi-tools. Very, very sharp, very effective. And then last on the outside is a file. It has a diamond coated file on one side, very fine grit. That's great for sharpening small knives, maybe sharpening an axe. That's pretty nice. And then on the other side it has your standard wood and metal file. Very nice. And then right here you can notch something if you need to make a notch in metal or whatnot. It has that file designed on there. And it also locks. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at the heart of this tool, which is pliers. At its core, it is a pair of pliers with some tools integrated into it, and Leatherman knows how to do this very well. They've been doing it for a few decades now, and this thing is awesome. It's got a very long plier head, long needle nose, so you can get into those tight spaces. If something ever fell down, you have to reach inside and get it. And the entire tip has serrations on it. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people like to have flat, smooth tips for grabbing things. But me, I don't care. I just need to be able to grab it. I don't mind. Then it has your standard pliers right here in the middle with the nice grippy teeth, wire cutters, and then in the very back, hard wire cutters. So pretty standard. And something to notice that I know a lot of people don't really talk about on their YouTube review videos, but a lot of multi-tools, the body or the handles will just be straight metal right here. And they'll try to smooth it out as much as they can, but it's just straight metal. And when you grip those tools aggressively, that straight metal cuts into the meaty parts of your hands, especially when you're getting real aggressive squeezing that tool. And it hurts. It's not comfortable. The Leatherman Wave, as you can see, the attention to detail on this thing is incredible. This is rounded, nice and smooth, nice and round, so it's very comfortable when you're using it in its primary tool configuration. That's nice. I like that a lot. So again, that's where the $69 comes into play. And then also you can use the tool itself as a ruler. If you look really close, you can see the numbers and the lines on both sides. And basically how that works, if I'm correct, you can use one side in the inches, which is 8 inches on one side. This is the inches on this side. 8 inches to get the size of something. You know, it won't be precise, but it'll get you in the ballpark. And then on the other side, you have your metric up to 19 centimeters. So that's pretty nice that they did that. Let's go ahead and look at the tools on the handle. One of the biggest selling points to this multi-tool compared to others is that this one has scissors that lock. Actually, like I said, everything locks, but it has scissors. And they're decent sized scissors. There are a couple scissors in the Leatherman lineup that may be a little bit beefier than this on the more expensive models, but in my experience, you do not need humongous beefy scissors to cut thread and fishing line and other small items. This is enough to get the job done, and that's great. It's spring loaded, as you can see there. That piece of wire right there, or metal, is your spring, and the fact that it locks is just great. Next to that is another awesome tool that I've actually used already. This is a very small Phillips and flathead screwdriver bit. Some people call it a jeweler's bit. It's perfect for watches and glasses and other small things. And the nice thing about this is it's not built into the knife or the tool. It's actually removable and replaceable. So if you ever lost this or broke this, you can buy more and replace it. So that's really nice. I like that a lot. And I am going to buy replacement parts for this just in case I ever lose or break something. They're not expensive. Amazon sells the replacement kit for like $5. Next to that is just your standard heavy duty flathead screwdriver, and you can really get some torque on this screwdriver if you put the tool in the L position like this. See, like that? I don't know if you guys can see that. There you go. If you had to really get some torque on it, it's nice you got a handle right there to use that tool. And then on the other handle, you have your standard can opener. Really not a lot to say about that. It's just a can opener, and you can also use it as a bottle opener. Pretty standard. I think every knife in the world has that tool. And then last but not least, one of the best bit drivers on a tool, a multi-tool. Again, this is not integrated into the tool itself, so if it breaks you can replace it. Just like that. And I like the fact that this one has a combination flathead and Phillips, so you can flip it around and choose between those two. I know some models only ship with these bits being the exact same but just in different sizes, and then you carry another different type on the other side of the tool. I don't really like that. I like having two different ones on the same bit. That's just my own personal preference. It's not a deal breaker. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the sheath. It's a nylon sheath. Pretty simple, nothing really fancy to it, but the nice thing about it is it has little pockets on the side, so you can put a Sharpie in there or a bit extender, and then you can also, like I said, there's a little pouch right here in the back that you can hold your extra bits if you choose to buy that bit accessory. And then there's also another little pocket here for other little gadgets and doodads and whatnot. And then, of course, Leatherman is pretty smart. They know you'll be using this working on tasks, and if you have this sheath on your belt, you can hold it like that in the open position while you do your work and you're actively working and you're taking this thing in and out and whatnot. So that's pretty nice. Alright, so that is the Leatherman Wave, all stainless steel, 25-year warranty, 17 tools, 2 driver bits, $69. So like I said, if you're looking for a multi-tool, I would highly suggest checking out the Leatherman Wave. It is expensive. You know, we're recovering from a recession, in my opinion. So $70 is a lot of money to some people. But if you think about the quality and engineering and design and thought that went into this tool, you really are getting every penny that you're paying for this thing. You're getting a lot out of it. And like I said, you know, I could have chose other multi-tools like the Wingman, the Sidekick, the Rebar, the Charge TTI, Charge ALX, and the AL aluminum, the Blast, the Freestyle, the Skeletool, and even the little tiny Juice. You know, I could have chose any one of those, but this one is the one that really fit my needs at my price point. Like I said, if I was going to pay $100, I'd get the Charge TTI. And if I was going to only spend about $25 to $30, I'd probably get the Sidekick. But like I said, this one does everything that those other ones do at right about the middle price point. So check it out, the Leatherman Wave.